Welcome back to OPTCG Central, your hub for all things One Piece card game related. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It really helps us bring you more One Piece TCG matches and more.
It's facing, well, also funny by the way, is that what you said about Koala, at first sight it looked like one of the best decks. I think I got baited twice. Koala and Marco. Those are the two times that I thought, okay, this deck will be absolutely busted. Ban incoming. And two times it was definitely not happening. However, Marco, it was fairly a good deck. But Marco is now just having problems with blue-purple playing too much Mihawk. And Rayleigh being very hard to beat. And,
absolutely. Well, we are off in round 7 here. We saw the one-cost Koala coming down from Tom, got that hair removal fist out of the deck, and then we see the Boa Hancock coming down from Anastasios here, our Rayleigh player, and Boa Hancock weirdly has the same searching skill as Shakuyaku, which is to say you can either get yourself a Luffy, or you can get yourself a red event, and it seems to be that 4-cost Luffy that we're going for. Whole point of the Rayleigh deck is you play small characters and you beef them up.
And
here we go, second Koala.
The main issue that we have right now is, first of all, we lost the dice. I think Koala can keep up with some of the top decks if Koala is able to go second, because we do have Hakon 4, Robin on 6, or Kuma into Dragon. And if you can do Dragon into Dragon, stuff like that, you have a pretty good deck, or a pretty good curve. However, if we lose the dice roll, the curve gets a lot worse. And Rayleigh on going second, we don't see it. Oh yeah, I do see it. We do have 4-cost Luffy, so Ray
that was searched out from the Boa Hancock.
Yeah, that was. We even have a second one, so. Ooh. Showing 2 events, pumping that Boa to 5.
Yeah, and that's what the leader skill does when you play. When you show 2 events, you just have to have them in hand. Show 2 red events, and you get a 4K base power or less. Goes up by 2K. So what you're doing in the Rayleigh deck is you're playing a lot of these characters, like there's a Sanji, a Luffy, a second Sanji, a Brook, that are low base power, but have cheeky ways to boost up their power. And that's basically the whole plot of the Rayleigh deck. Small characters that can boost themselves, and then you also boost with the Rayleigh skill. We saw a tentative swing, which was countered by Sabo, and then out comes Luffy, who also wants you to show 2 red events, or 2 any events. But then you get to play a 3-cost character or less, 3K character or less, and it is that Buggy. And what does Buggy do? Buggy searches a red event.
Yep, Koala effect going off though, because of the Luffy summoning a card from hand. Well, summoning a character from a character ability, so going -1 in life.
That's what Koala does. You're not going to see a natural 8-cost character coming down in a Rayleigh deck. They're literally not allowed to play them. But Koala, cheeky little life getting taken there. That's a nice little bonus. So it's nice seeing 2 OP12 decks against each other. Another counter from Kuma.
Yeah, Koala decides to stay as healthy as possible for this matchup. But yeah, the 5 don't turn very awkward right now, because yeah, we did lose the dice, so that's a little bit painful.
We're swinging the Koala Searcher. That's swinging into Boa Hancock here.
Yep, I am surprised that we swung with the Boa Hancock from Anastasios' side. We could have waited a turn, I guess, because now we lost quite some value out of it. Because Boa Hancock's ability being Trash Her and give 2 rested done. So the upcoming turn, we could have done a lot of swings.
Oh, we see another counter there. We are now playing that rather lovely Fishman there. We're playing that hack coming down. And this is the first 8 cost, not actually an 8 cost, but it's a +4 cost on the board. So it's a blocker. It's your first 8 cost towards Koala's leader skill. And you also get to KO a 4 cost or less when it gets KO'd, which against Rayleigh, you're going to have some options there.
You are able to get rid of that Luffy, which is quite nice. Also very important, it's 4 cost base.
Yes.
That is something that got introduced later and later in One Piece, that the removal is on base cost instead of cost in general. I think Lucci is one of the decks that is... was the deck that could remove the most characters from their opponent's boards. And
yeah, good.
Maybe Sakazuki, I guess they are close.
Okay, yes. Well, it's just basically this Black Navy was what
Yeah.
we're going for here. No, absolutely. We see a second Luffy coming down here. And then it looks like we are just showing a couple of events. So that is going to... But if you play... And that's going to play a Sanji, but... Does that not mean that Anastasios is going to lose another life here? They are. So, cheeky life getting taken from Tom. Or Tom making the life get taken might be a better way to phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got 2 Don on the leader. And that Sanji gets a 3k boost on your turn, so it's actually a 6k. It's a printed 3k, but it is a 6k on your turn. Draws a card when it gets KO'd. So this is what I mean about playing smaller characters that have that way to boost. And then in theory, they get boosted further by the Rayleigh, and that's how this deck really does its damage. And we get the 2k on Luffy.
A very good trigger for the Koala, being able to pop that Luffy, and the block from Huck can get rid of the Sanji if he wants to, and then he can swing big into the... He can actually get rid of the board. This is an insanely good trigger for the Koala.
Yeah, getting that Nami, being able to pop that Luffy off is wonderful. Now in
This
theory...
is huge.
We swing here, and it's just a Nami counter out, that 1k counter. Not as fun as seeing it as a trigger, but still. We now see the 7k swing with that leader Rayleigh. We let that go through, because we've not got many cards left in hand now. He's rocking a 3-card hand. But sooner or later, you aren't going to be able to counter everything. But you don't... Yeah, do you want to block it with
I would be surprised if we don't block it here. However, maybe he
Yeah.
wants to keep the blocker and play his dragon the upcoming turn. Wait, are we going? No, we are going to 7, so dragon is not a play just yet.
No. We are correct. We're 5 here, 4 rested and 1 on the Koala. Okay, so we are going to block, and then, of course, that block gets it KO'd, which means we then get to pop the Luffy as we do so. And, yeah, a lot of stuff has left the board here. And because of those triggers coming out from the Koala leader, that means that you have been able to really kind of keep up with a life race while also being able to do some damage to your opponent's board. This is kind of going exactly as you want it to. It's not a great matchup, like you said, but he's making it work for now.
Guess he will get rid of the buggy.
Seems to be where he's looking here. Swing with the Koala into the buggy. Is Anastasios going to let it go through?
He will definitely consider protecting it, because you're slowly running out of characters on the board. You do have a big hand still, however, you want to keep up the pace and put as much pressure as possible onto Koala, because if you give Koala time, Koala is able to put on some blockers to heal because of the Kuma, and from that point on it gets really hard for you, so...
Absolutely. He's certainly Anastasios.
You also have to accept that you will also have to counter the leader attack.
Which is going to be a little bit awkward. Well, it seems like we are countering there. We are saving the buggy. Big decision. Took a while. Decided to save. Now we are swinging with the leader again into the buggy, and that is one of those. That's a color of the Supreme King Haki, I believe, which is going to give a -1k to all your opponent's characters, as well as a 2k bump for you. But down comes Kuma, and Kuma brings life. Literally, you get an extra life card.
Only 2 cards in hand for the Koala side. That's the reason that I don't think the game is played just yet. It's really...
Oh, absolutely not. There was a color observation Haki, it looks like, being played there.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of searching going on. Or are we just showing it to give? No, we're just showing it to give the 2k. That's the thing about when I watch Rayleigh. If they show one event and then the other, it makes me think they're playing the event, especially when it's a main and not a counter, and then it just gets confusing. We're just boosting up the buggy there. It looks like we might be boosting a little bit more. And Rayleigh gets silly with this. This buggy, it's a 3k. It's supposed to just be a searcher. But then your leader bumps it up to a 5k. You whack a Don on there, and all of a sudden, this 1-cost searcher, you're swinging for 6k.
Yeah, that's really good. And only with 2 cards in hand, so you'll probably have to take the 6. He does. Okay, second 8-cost dragon, that's not that good, because it's essentially a brick at this point.
Well, what you're looking for, we want the dragon, but you're right, 1 dragon right now will do. Not got a counter, and you can't play more than 1. They're very expensive. Okay, now we are actually playing the color of observation Haki, giving an active Don to your Rayleigh, and then doing that search for a red event or a character card of a cost of 3 or more. It looks like we are going for the color of the Supreme King Haki.
One of the best events in the current format. I think together with Giant, probably the best.
Now here we go, there's that Boa Hancock. We get the search for the red event or Luffy. But of course, let's not forget, last time we didn't get the trash it and boost up another character skill. Hopefully this time we will get the double duty. It is a Luffy card being searched out. There are generally 2 different Luffy that seem to be played in this deck. This is a one, it's an old Luffy at this point. But Don X2 cannot be KO'd by strike. Activate main once per turn, give it to Don. It's another one of those cards that's low power, low cost, but can boost itself. What Rayleigh lives for.
I do like that we still see cards from OP01 times, like Radical Beam, this OP01 Luffy. This buggy is actually also already from OP03, so that's really nice to see. And also really nice to know, this buggy is not rotating next year. So there are a couple of cards that are not rotating, and buggy is one of them. OP01 Nami is also one of them.
Yeah, that lovely searcher. We like that. That helps us out quite a lot. Well, we are doing a little bit of searching here with, I believe that was Captain's Assemble we just saw hit the board. We are now, that Luffy is coming down. That is getting a couple of Don here.
Let's do his effect. Can't attack yet. No rush. That would be a little bit too strong.
That would be way too good. No, we can't get that yet, unfortunately. But you can still use the activate main if you wish. I mean, basically, it just protects it from strike characters. Unlikely to really be that relevant, but why not? Like, if you've got the rested Don, why not? Here we go, popping a Don onto Koala. We're going to see a swing into Sanji. 3k boost on your turn, but on your opponent's, you are just sitting there as a 3k. And the thing is, you know, Tom's looking at Anastasios' hand and going, "You ain't got many cards, mate. You are struggling for hand size just like I am." Actually, no. Tom's all right now. Tom's got 6 cards in hand. But Anastasios is at 2 cards in hand. So a cheeky swing here. You're like, look, if you've got a single counter, you can get out of this. But mate, you got, oh no, there's 4 cards in hand.
Oh. Still not a lot, but...
Not a lot, but better than we thought.
Yeah.
That's 5, okay.
Yeah, 5.
It's pretty much all events, actually.
Well, I guess the deck is playing a lot of events. It's almost like green-purple do Flamingo.
That it is.
Just
You
in
need
a
to
very different way.
absolutely. I mean, you need to really keep 2 red events in hand at all time just for your leader ability here. So, are we still swinging into Buggy? Okay, swinging into Sanji, sorry. That was a big decision. That took a long time. We did finally get rid of it. And of course, you have that skill whereby on KO you can draw a card. So that did give Anastasios just 1 more card in hand to play with. So,
I think he accepted that it would just cost too much to protect his board, because Kuma can still swing and the leader can still swing, and your bodies are just too small. Your bodies are 3Ks. If it were like 5Ks, I can imagine that Konkersaki and cards like that would come up. But now it was just too much to defend. Like the first swing, okay, that would cost you a card, but what about the 2 other swings that will come? And you rather defend on a 5K, your leader in this case, instead of a 3K body.
no, absolutely makes perfect sense with that one. There's, sometimes you just have to, if you're not going to be able to protect them, let them go down, keep your cards in hand. At the end of the day, it is your life that you really need to be protecting here. That is the biggest deal. We have slowed down a little bit gameplay-wise here. Both players being very considered, very measured.
Well, we
Big
are
decision.
watching the 6-0 game, so...
Oh, yes. Oh, there's that dragon you keep talking about. And now we can play a card from the trash to come along with it. The question is, what is the best option? Have you been tracking the trash, Ruben? What are you thinking?
I do see a Nico Robin, so I can't imagine that Nico Robin will be played to discard 2 cards for Rayleigh, potentially.
There are 5 or more cards in hand now, so that would hit.
Yeah, because he didn't defend his Sanji, he is still at 5 cards.
A 6 cards because he drew one when the Sanji got KO'd.
Oh, 6, yes, so... is that a little bit punished right now because he did not protect? Otherwise, this Robin couldn't go off. And now he is asking 2 cards from his opponent and is playing a blocker.
So if Anastasios had played 1 card from his hand, he wouldn't have drawn from the Sanji. So using 1 card as a counter would have meant he had 4 cards left in hand. Sanji would still be on the board as an attacker, and this Nico Robin would go, have you got 5 or more cards in hand? Anastasios would say no, and then this wouldn't hit. You'd still get the blocker. It is worth noting that you do now finally have a couple of 8 cost on the board in Kuma and... well, actually, you got Robin, you got Kuma, but now you are finally drawing with the leader skill. So that is actually working now. Yeah, now when the leader swings, you draw.
However, we don't have Dawn open for our event to protect ourselves, so he does need some extras to come back from this. It feels like Rayleigh is just 1 rush or 1 rush card away from winning this game.
The problem is they tend to play Zoro, they tend to play Kid and Killer. They are generally not short of cards with rush if they need them coming out. And now we're going to see Kuma just swinging into Buggy. Buggy finally does go down. I've seen that saved a couple times with counter. And now we go back over to Anastasios. Needs 2 swings to get through. You've got Leader, you've got Luffy, you've got Boa Hancock, plus potentially cards with rush coming out as well. So now we are showing 2 of those red events. And that is going to boost up 1 of our characters. And then in theory, we can swing with Hancock and then trash Hancock to... I believe we can do that, can't we?
Yeah, we can first swing and then...
Just making sure it didn't have to be active. So yeah, so you can swing and then trash it to then give Dawn to your Luffy. And then potentially bring in a rush in your leader. And this could be the turn.
Yep. And this Gum Gum Mole Pistol, very good into this Robin, of course, doing -5. And then you can KO as well if you have a 6k power. And that's why he needed to boost first.
Yeah, we saw that Dawn going on the Boa Hancock, putting it from a 5 up to a 6 so that you can activate that extra effect of the Mole Pistol there. But that did come down. That did work. The Boa Hancock is gone. That was the only blocker, I believe, on the board. So that's kind of opened the runway a little bit for Anastasios here. Got 3 swings at least. Needs 2 swings to get through. Now we put another Don. Now we got a 7k Hancock. I like this because it means that a 2k counter alone will not be enough. So we see 2 cards coming out. Hurting the hand size, but that didn't go through. You're now getting 2 Don on
are
Luffy.
Getting so much extra Dons. It's actually crazy to see this Luffy being able to get 2 rested Don. This
Here we
Boa
go.
being able also 2 rested Don. Like
you paid nothing there except a character that had already rested. You got 4 rested Don.
Yep, this Gum Gum Mole Pistol was actually kind of free. So yeah, that's crazy. But only 3 cards left for the Koala, and this is an 8 or 7k swing.
We're boosting by
7k.
4.
Yep, so 7k swing.
Yes. A 7k swing, but again, that seems to be the number. 7k, we talk about these key numbers. 7k means a 2k counter alone won't do it. It's taking a card into hand. Oh, it's not. It's a counter, so the Karasu... It was Karasu, right?
Yes. Oh, he got a... Did he get... Oh... Can he win this because of this? This is insane. Another big trigger. It's huge for Tom. Oh, a
And
very,
it's got
very
blocker.
good trigger.
Yeah, if you're Revolutionary Army, check. You and your opponent have a total of 5 or less life between you, check. You play the Karasu, you get it out as a blocker. Now you've got 1 more, and remember, 1 swing going through would win, but it's not gonna... Wow, there's basically 1 swing left here from the leader, but Karasu can block that, and you've got some decent swings coming. Your leader, your Kuma, your Dragon. You've got some big swings coming back the other way. The Nami search is good. Did we get a rush character? Getting something like the Roanoa Zoro, for instance, off of the Nami search would be huge, but I don't...
Oh, we do have a Radical Beam and a Conker's Hockey, so we do have a lot of defense.
Okay.
But...
You're right, that trigger at that time was absolutely absurd. Hitting that trigger at that time. So we see Morley coming in as a bit of a counter here. Just kind of getting rid of that little swing. So now we're over to Tom. And basically, not to put too fine a point on it, Tom needs to win the game now. Because otherwise things are not going great. So Karasu gets a 5k swing, countered by Sanji. You do have...
I want to see small swings because of they only have they don't have a lot of cards in hand.
Yes. Awesome
like
to use those
another
events.
5. Because most of the time you swing either 5 or 8. 8 is playing around the Conker's Haki, which you saw. However, you didn't see the Radical Beam. That's the big reason why Radical Beam is in a deck of Rayleigh, because people tend to swing 8k onto Rayleigh, because 8k is swinging perfectly into Conker's Haki. Conker's Haki, or Colors of Supreme, as you might call it as well, is +2, -1, so that's the 8, and then they need an extra card. However, if they swing 8 and you can do Radical Beam was huge for you, so he did have to take the 5, and now you see he's swinging the 8k, and Anastasios will, he does have a Radical Beam, which is really good against that 8k swing.
Oh, here we go. You are correct. Radical Beam does come out, and that puts you up to 9. 9 beats 8. So you've still got... I mean, you've got your Koala, but they ain't doing too much, I'm going to be honest with you. But you've still got your Kuma. You've still... Oh, no, we appear to have
this
gone...
Koala needs to get there, so it's a 10k swing. So we do have Conker's Haki and 1k, so we need from life... so 8, we need like a 2k?
I'm going to believe you if you've done the maths. I'm not going to double up on the maths. If you've done it, Ruben, I'm going to believe you, man.
7 to 9, 8 to 9. Yeah, we need a 2k from life, right?
Oh, that's not ideal. Yes, I believe the 10 swing is going to be coming down. So...
Puts you to 7. Conker's puts you to 7 and their Koala to 9. And you have a 1k in hand as well, so you need to 2k, right? I think I did the math correctly at least.
Yeah, so 9 into 7, you play the 1, that's an 8, with another 1, that would be 9-9, tie goes to the attacker, so yeah, you would need a 2k. Yeah, for the maths you put out there is right, you do need a 2k, that is going to be what's needed. Anastasios not looking happy, and I don't blame him.
He's going to do it right now. I think this is indeed better, because this puts both Koalas to 1k power, and you have to divide 4 Dawn to one Koala and 4 Dawn to the other, so you only need 1k. So this counter is better than countering a full swing from the Koala. So this is well played by Anastasios. Because yeah, this is 5-5. It all comes down to the last life of Anastasios. But it all came down as well to the last life from the Koala side as well. So
thing is, we
one
have
life to rule them all.
Well, we have opened on though, don't we, from Anastasios?
Yes.
And there isn't much in the Rayleigh deck that doesn't have counter. There's a few. We got your Buggy, your Boa Hancock, your Kid and Killer, and your Zorro. But that's about the cards that don't have counter. So with Don open for potentially searching, although not all of those.
Oh, and he got the 1k from life, so that means
he got it. So that means that Anastasios. Wait, so Anastasios did take that down, right?